Hello there everyone and welcome back. I had hoped to maybe get a video in on Saturday, but I didn't really feel all that energetic to at least give proper commentary. Hell, I would argue my commentary is generally pretty bad, but with the nature of Starcraft 2, it's competitive for even a master to probably be the best at commentary, unless they're doing something they're so used to. When they have to do things a little bit off the road, then it gets complicated really quickly, I would imagine. But it's still a lot of progress to be done, and I feel like I am improving, at least in my European server games. I have outranked my position with where I am so far for at least the American version, so if that continues to boost up too much, then I may consider grinding some games on the American server, so at least we can keep consistent with our opponent's level, rather than maybe being thrown off by wonky plays. Like some of my opponents had really awkward build orders, openings as it were. So I want to try to avoid that, I guess, the best games possible ideally. But it first comes down to my commentary is what it really is. It's really what it is. Alright, it is go time. We're facing off against Terran, and thankfully most of my matches in the European server have been Terran, so I feel like I'm starting to figure that out. There hasn't really been a lot of Cyclone rushes though to say I can deal with that relatively well. So that is the one downside I have to say for this potential match. And that trying to type in always throws me off since my hotkeys are so set up there. I use the right side of my keys as opposed to the left side by default, so having to move my hands to type in good luck have fun is actually throwing me off quite a bit if I were to be perfectly honest. But it's a minor thing. Let's focus on the game itself. That's what it is, and I'm not really happy how close these buildings are, mind you. I don't know why I built it so close. Maybe I should have had a little bit back here, potentially to wall this off from maybe aggressive run by. Is what the thought process is. And I forgot to put you on a hotkey. That's also a bit of a shame. Oh well. I am gonna think. I don't know if I want to get a second gas against Terran just yet. I'm gonna stick with maybe the single gas in case they're doing something very economical. So maybe I can get away with a fast expansion at very little risk. Let's just keep an eye on that. That's the one thing I'm going to have to refine, whether I get a second gas or not. And with that said, what is the building? Double gas, so that is not happening here, needless to say. This looks like a fast Cyclone type play, so hopefully I'm prepared for this. Ooh, this is a best case situation. This is the most dickish thing I could do. This slows them down immensely. It may be cost a little bit more. Well, actually, it didn't really hurt me that much. I'm just not going to get my adept as quickly. To be fair, they're not actually getting units as quickly either, so it's a bit of a fair trade. Do I get the expansion or not, with that said? I really question this. I really do question this, but I can get an adept out. Actually, I think I want stalkers out, with that said. This is uncertainty. This is something I need to refine. I do need a robotics facility, though, with that said. Which is probably why this is a big mistake. But I'm gonna get the robotics facility out, 2 stalkers, try and get maybe a shield battery down below as quickly as possible. We'll see, there's a lot of nuances. I'm trying to do a lot of things at once. But that slowed them down immensely. We're only gonna have to deal with maybe a single Cyclone here. At least initially. And I'm gonna send that thing out to kind of spot for any other nuisance. At least see what they're building, because that was a big deal. It's just a matter of capitalizing on it. Oh, Hellions. Okay, so it's not Cyclones. I'm thankful for that, I guess. Now the big question is, what are they doing in the background? Is it like a Hellion drop is what I'm concerned about.
Research complete.
I don't think I need a shield battery. Maybe they canceled their Cyclone push because of delay. There's a lot of things, again, I need to concern myself with. I almost don't want to get immoral, but extra power is kind of warranted too, isn't it? And Sentry is good for front, but 4 Hellions. That was a bad mistake, maybe? I don't know how that fared, in all honesty. It was a bit of a mess. I was more worried about like a drop play, which may still happen. It was a couple worker kills, but we killed, what, 5 Hellions? Which they opted to do instead, but I need gas, so let's get our Templars ready and building. I don't know, and I am a little bit oversaturated here, so let's fix that too. I'm gonna have to look at the worker count. That probably felt more painful than it actually was, considering, even though it was a fresh expansion. I just need Stalkers in back to kind of defend against a drop. That's the one thing I'm concerned about now here, with that said. As you can see, I'm pretty weak in front, though, if I commit to this. And I've completely forgot about my server just to point out how silly, how freaked out I am. I'm not used to the Hellions, even in European games, but we got intel. It's just medevacs, I think, is what I need to watch for. Otherwise, it looks like we have good saturation. We need pylons now, though. That's the one thing to be prepared for. Okay, Liberators. That was bad. I hope... Damn it! That really sucks. Although 2 Stalkers for Liberators isn't terrible, but that still feels bad. Just that bad old Heart of the Swarm habit, I suppose, where pylons warp in 5 seconds as opposed to 15. But we denied the harass there, I'm fine with that. Now we need to get some extra gateways. And it's also messing with my mindset some of maybe not having these gateways, where it's highlight blue for the same reason. Since that's something I'm still gonna have to get used to. Now, main thing is watch for maybe an attack. That bunker is currently not active, that's all I know. That's something to watch for. Is there attack coming I may not be privy to? And I need pylons, which thankfully I have one building. I'm just concerned about more drops.
We are the light of the power.
What else do I need? Upgrades. I think with how slow my forges have been, let's go double upgrades to get that on par. Since I am a little bit slower than like, we got medevacs, we got drops. They look like they're either getting ready to push out. Yeah. Push out for a third, maybe. So let's get ready for that.
Construct additional pylons.
I oversaturate? Nope. Not really, but I do need storms. And I have no pylons. I think we're doing good, it's just the gas is a little bit high.
We seek enlightenment.
I don't have actual Stalkers, but at least this slows them down nicely enough, right? And I have storms. This will slow down their attack notably. That's the main thing. I gotta be careful of attacks, though. Surprise, Stalkers! Your Liberator is dead.
Our pylon is under attack.
Damn it! That's not what I want. I want to feed back the medevacs. That was what I wanted to do. Feed back the medevacs, keep them from healing, and of course just kill them straight up. And all I lost was a robotics facility, which isn't terrible. I just gotta remember I lost it, that's all.
We are focused.
So that was good defense there. It feels weird, though, being on the back foot some, but let's see. Do they have a third? Because they didn't attack the third here, which was a prime opportunity for them. And my stalkers, sadly, didn't do much aside for giving me early warning, which is still pretty good. And my hotkeys, my location hotkeys are a bit off, since apparently that grayed out area was my third location for my nexus. Now, let's get building.
Upgrade complete.
Upgrades finished there. I think that was my forges just finishing, so that's pretty good there. Now, I think I know what I want to do here if they're going to go with more liberators, so we're going to get ourselves some Tempests. I'm not quite used to Tempest just yet, but that's what the plan is, unless they don't have a third. That's the exception here. Well, actually, it's not the exception, it's what I'm going to do.
We are the light of
Liberators are a bit of a pain. Killed. Killed them all.
Thus I serve.
Liberators are a bit... Oh, well, that's game. Damn it! I was talking about how I was going to use Tempest. I started utilizing them in my European games, and I even have a separate hotkey for them. It's the same hotkeys with my Phoenixes, mind you, which I talked about in my last video. So it's still not perfect, especially with Phoenixes for whenever I have to face off against Air or Mutalisk against Zerg. My impulse, my muscle memory wants me to use my mouse button hotkeys to select them, so it's not perfect, but with the confusion I had in my last Zerg match, let me remind you, I had Oracles on mouse button 4, Observers on mouse button 5, and normally Phoenixes are also on one of those keys, which is where that confusion came in. It may not have cost me a match, but it sure as hell does not make me optimize, it does not make me efficient, trying to remember that. Since really, once things are going as they should, what am I trying to say? You will notice that the performance is a lot more natural, and it's not me panicking and not talking as much through the battles and what I'm doing as well. Maybe you're already seeing hints of it to an extent when I'm going through my usual routine, when things are going as I'm used to with Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty at least. Alright, we're facing off against Zerg this time, and I just had a weird experience where my last opponent decided to was AFK'd out, so I'm a little bit off my game, mainly because of that, since I'm not really used to, well, what am I trying to say there? I get thrown off when things are going incredibly well as opposed to incredibly bad normally. I get frustrated when things get terribly bad. That's the difference there. But it's Zerg. We'll see how it goes. I was wondering about if I was getting a streak of Terramir matches, because that's what my opponent was. And also to inform you, to let you know, I looked at the replay of my first match there, and I lost about 9 workers from that Hellion run by. So it probably was a little bit in the Terran's favor for that push, just because of the sheer economical damage that was done. But thankfully with the fast expansion, that wasn't a huge deal. Thankfully. Now let's get this started and see if I can get my headspace back together. And really play it by ear and see if my hotkeys with the Phoenixes pans out, because I'm gonna definitely need one out if I go Stargate to just shoot down the Overlords a little bit at a time. So expansion, everything's normal here. I'm just gonna go with like 2 in gas for now. There's no rush. Well, there goes a little bit of your mining time. Let's just not do that again. That was unnecessary for me to try and get nearly killed in the process. So gas and pools, that's what we know, everything's as usual. Let's get Cybernetics Core up, and I am a little bit paranoid, maybe. Okay, wall off is good here, potentially. And there's not really much point to really do anything else, besides for a circle this thing around. Actually, I need second gas and I forgot my pylon. So yeah, I actually am thrown off from that last match, I feel like. Since this feels like a far cry from last match that we got to see. Oh well, I am just mainly curious about how many lings you're gonna build. I'm also looking for speed, ideally. So far, only 2 lings. I didn't get to see speed or not, so I'm worried about a little unnecessary, a little bit of pressure, mainly, or some kind of like aggressive play is what it comes down to. Now let's get this really fast out. Since again, I did not see speed, but I did see 2 lings, which I'm hopeful. Well, the Overlord sees it anyway, so I gotta be mindful about not overcommitting, is the real thing. And also keep an eye on. What is it? Keep an eye on. Maybe run by there with the second adept.
The firstborn shall persevere. We are of one mind.
So that's pretty good there. Not perfect, but at least it's safe. I just didn't get the intel I would like, sadly. And actually, let's get a second adept. Keep building. Get pylons building, because that's going to be really important. I'm about to get supply blocked. So good thing I caught that. Since I'm not going to quite get my second oracle out in time, am I? Let's get on going. They see it, but it'll prompt some spore crawlers, and maybe I'll get to see what the hell is going on in there. If they haven't already done that, is the big question. Ah, 3rd expansion, okay. So that tells me a little bit there. This is going to be a field day. I am curious about what our tech they're getting, mind you. Hydras. Speed is still researching. That is important to note.
Dimensional strings attuned. The enemy has discovered.
Just don't loot. I lost my dang oracle. That's a shame. But let's get started with the real meat of this strategy, even though everything's a little bit off par. Just a little bit. But it's something we can manage, and we have phoenixes coming out to deal with our little friends here. Just kill these things. It's a waste of energy, mind you, so I probably could do a little bit better. But that's 100 resources they're not getting back. As well as the drone. Well, is it 100 resources? I'm not sure.
Our windowish. How can I aid you? I see.
Just ran out of energy at a bad time. It forced them to complete, though, at least, so there's always that. Now we gotta remember my Phoenix hotkeys. Good charge. I don't think I need... Well, I should have done an aggressive push in all honesty with the fast 3rd, but it prompted an overreaction from my opponent at least. Get the 3rd building. Maybe I could have done this a little bit faster, mind you. But Overlord's about to die. It maybe sees the 3rd, so we're going to have to prepare for this. It might prompt an aggressive attack. Since we know there are Hydralisks, we just don't know anything about roaches just yet, so I'm a little bit hesitant to get immortals for that reason. And we're doing good on saturation.
Let us begin. Extrapolating.
Ah, dang it, I want to kill those creep tumors. But so far, lots of lings.
Our window is short.
I'm just curious. Maybe there's Overlord. Maybe there's Mutalisks to contend with. Let's get Hydra or High Templar out now. That's what I'm a little bit curious about. Evolution chambers. Alright, so I got upgrades building now. I'm a little bit behind slightly. That is built, so...
Research complete. Mineral field depleted.
Let's get ready. I probably am a little bit behind the economic game, mind you, just because of the fast surge. But let's keep an eye on you, keep them honest. Okay, banelings. So maybe I do... Well, I don't think I need immortals, honestly. I just need more gateways. Lots of gateways and lots of Templar.
You have not enough minerals.
Get this gas spending quickly.
You have not enough minerals.
That's my main problem there. And if possible... Ooh, that's fancy. Try and... Are those overlords would drop? I don't know. Since the cosmetic appearance, I don't honestly know. If I were to be serious, because there's a lot of banelings to contend with. Which Archons will help a lot in that regard. Immortals to a vague extent. And if I can get a single disrupt on those banelings would be amazing. If I can control it properly. This is a little bit trial and error. Dealing with banelings and not having to rely on... Let's see. Let's hold that thought.
We meet our fate.
I want to see what you're up to. Try and get ready for maybe a fourth. I'm content with... Oh, you are getting a fourth now, so that's what we need to be ready for. Ideally. Robotics support bay is about to finish.
Guidance?
Now let's get things going.
How can I aid you?
Oracle.
Upgrade complete. Your warriors have engaged. We embrace the glory of battle. I will comply.
Oh. I thought that was actually my sentries in all honesty, but that was a bad mistake there. I didn't really want to commit this engagement as much as I did. So that was a huge mistake on my part.
We shall stand against the virus.
I do still have storms though. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. And apparently my cells didn't really do any damage either. Now, let's try and rebuild here. This is a bit of a mess. This shouldn't have happened, in all honesty. But cells are good for this position, regardless. Because we knew there were banelings, so the fact I committed to that aggression was kind of silly. Since I want to wait for the Disruptor to maybe snipe them off. Is what it really came down to. Now, let's get ourselves a second one. Get ourselves a second, what is it? Robotics facility. We'll start making our way to dealing with carriers, dealing with the Broodlords some. Since it's just Lings and Hydras at the moment. Now, Tempest or Disruptors with your fancy gold color. Let's get you ready.
We our minds. Not enough energy. We cannot hold.
Alright, that damage was heavily minimized. Although it wasn't quite saturated, it's the downside. I need to try... Oh, that's probably because I never truly saturated, did I now? This is the part where it's hard to do damage, but I need some proxy... I need some, like, proxy pylons to kind of allow for it to an extent. Disruptor number 2 is out. And we killed a bunch of creep tumors. Let's see if this can go a little bit better. Can we kill these? Kill the banelings. It's not working very well, sadly.
might. We begin.
It's not working very well, and I want those to be Templar, mind you.
Presiding. I like the highlight of the power.
And I could get Colossus, but I'll save that for when carriers start getting built.
The merging is complete.
And I forgot to upgrade my attack, which is going to be pretty important too. The good news is they're neglecting the Overseer some.
Enlightenment. We are your demands. Or we shall. We are my charge.
Come on.
We, our minds are.
Yeah, this is not going well. This is not going to go well. Yeah, I messed this up horribly. It feels like I got overwhelmed if I were to be serious. There were some disruptor hits because, yeah, I was hitting the, I was trying to hit the wrong key. Bit of a throwaway match. I'm not happy with that. Damn it, that really sucks. It had promise if I did the control properly. For my disruptor controls really bad there. I was hitting a different hotkey than what it should have been. And of course the first attack was really bad. That's ultimately what started to snowball out of my favor some. I want the main attack to actually distract the Hydras so that way the cells could attack the third. And of course that did absolutely no damage and I didn't see what the situation was like there. The idea, I timed it badly I think. And of course not having like anything to warp in units in the front, especially with the Prism dying needlessly, hurt me quite a bit too. But we're gonna jump right in there. I don't know if this is the same person or not. But let's try and get that. Let's do better than last time, at least. Hell, this is the first time where I didn't cut out the video because we went right into another one. Nope, I'm still getting thrown off a bit, but that'll be fixed momentarily. Just gotta make sure his rally points changed up. And then we'll get back to a normal game and try not to mess up my controls some. Since that was a pretty passive game, there was no real aggression or anything going on after all. I still kind of somehow messed it up, it felt like. And I think, I don't think I get the cybernetic core there, can I? That's what I'm a little bit worried about. Oh well, I'll just calm down the commentary a bit since the opening is going to be basically the same anyway. To collect my thoughts a bit, we'll just see where Zerg's going to get. If we're going to see expansion or not. Yep. So we know what to expect, so pool, then gas. That's good to know there. So really slow speed is what that ultimately means. I'm not going to get to see if they are gaining speed, mind you, so I'm wondering what purpose my probe has here. Besides for trying to freak out our Zerg friend. Only thing I can really judge is how many Zerglings are being built. If I had to guess, that looks like only 2 there. Only 2 lings. I'm watching the egg hatches. Since the larvas, you can get visual indicator numbers more often than not. I forgot about pylon. Not a big deal, thankfully yet. Yeah, this pylon, this placement's really bad. It's a little bit unfortunate, but maybe I can check see what they're doing in a moment here. Alright, I guess so much for that strategy. My probe might not make it though, just because of getting pinned down like that. What am I doing? Yeah, there we go. Since my gas just finished there. No,
The firstborn shall persevere.
probe's gone.
Give us your command. Poor Zalah.
Okay, let's just...
Before
You're gonna panic there?
fire shall be reclaimed.
There we go. I should have had my tech going, so yeah, everything's really slow. It got ruined by that one person ruined my tempo by AFKing out, and even then, I probably threw myself off by not immediately going to another match too. Was probably part of my issue. Oh well, we can rectify this still. We can rectify this. I just gotta remember what my build order is first, which was the oracles. I just gotta be mindful. This could go badly.
We serve with pride. Forward. Yes, Executor.
That probably did nothing there. Let's be honest.
Ire shall be reclaimed.
Could have done more than could have there, but at least the adepts are safe and alive. That's all I could really ask for. And this will give us an opportunity to scout what they're up to.
Dimensional strings attuned.
Now we'll need ourselves another pylon while this is going out.
Let us begin.
Just quick scout and a little bit of damage ideally if possible.
Our window is short.
And also I gotta remember getting a phoenix there.
How can I aid you?
Alright.
Oracle perceiving. Harmonized. We interpret.
So we're getting roaches and all that, are we? That's what it looks like, so
And Erodine Washagal. We meet our fate.
let's see if we can do something about that.
An omen.
Teleport successful.
Alright, that's good damage there.
Let us begin. The stars align. How can I aid you? The
And this-
enemy has discovered us.
Dang it, did I just... Nope, that has no base. There's no units on it there. Let's just get building. And ideally get my Sur going. Since we know there's roaches, it's just a matter of seeing them coming.
We meet our fate.
Which honestly was not that.
The enemy has discovered us.
And where the hell's my oracles now? Yeah, this is really bad.
How can I aid you? An omen.
But we could still do damage here. Just gotta minimize the damage that these roaches do. Ah, dang it, that stinks.
The threat.
Alright, let's get going. Let's get Templar building.
Research complete. Highlight for ire. Kaladora.
An omen.
I return to serve.
I
Glory is my meditation. Oh, Sean.
Thankfully, I don't need Stalkers so much here. So I just gotta make sure I'm doing damage, but you're not in a group. That's a bit of a problem there.
Our cannon shall save. Mineral field depleted. Highlight for ire.
I can keep building. I can keep getting units going. I just gotta make sure the crisis manage this which means I get forges. Damn it.
Not enough
You're not doing this very well.
base is under attack.
The threads of fate lie bare.
I feel your
Yeah, now I'm gonna lose there. Ah, that's a shame. It was going so well, and then I got completely thrown off because of a damn AFK player. That's what I feel the moral of the story was there, damn it, and I feel frustrated by it. Since everything was going well up beforehand. Well, that stinks. What else can I say? At least I got a new Colossus skin, right? I guess that's a 1+. Oh well.